I've talked about this before, but if you don't know this about me, I do not want to have children. I have never been pregnant, and I have never wanted to have children. I've made the concession at different points in my life that I would have to have children because the partner that I was with at the time wanted to have kids. Thankfully, that did not happen, and my life is by design childless. I love kids. I love having a massive family. I love being able to be an aunt in my nephews and nieces' lives. I'm very active as a participant in their life. I have helped raise them, and I try to be available to them and be around for them as much as possible. And I love having children in my life, and I will have many more because my family loves to have kids, and I have 14 nieces and nephews already, which is a joy to me, and I'm very grateful for that. But I personally do not see myself as a mother. And I get asked this question a lot, particularly because I'm 38 years old. And I don't think that it's an unfair or weird thing to ask someone if they want kids. When I date people, I ask them if they want children. If their answer is yes, that changes the course of the interactions that we're going to have. Because I believe that if you want children, that is not something that you should compromise on. But I also would never want someone to make that compromise for me. So if I meet someone and they want kids, that is where our paths usually end, at least as far as romantically, because I wouldn't want someone doing that. And I also don't want someone lying to themselves about what they want to then later resent me for it. And I have this conversation with people a lot because people find it odd that I don't want children. So they're always like, why don't you want kids? And it's honestly just that I've physically never had the desire to be pregnant. I do not want the life that being a mother, an active mother, which is the only version of motherhood that I would ever want, demands of you. I think being a parent is an extremely difficult, taxing, selfless thing to do if you are, of course, an involved parent. And that is just not what I see for my life. So physically, I have no desire to be pregnant. I do not want to be a mother. And there are a myriad of other social reasons and personal reasons of why it's not appealing to me. But the main thing is, and the reason why I don't, and the reason why I have not planned for it and will not change my mind, is because I physically do not want to have a child. That doesn't mean I don't like children, and that doesn't mean I don't understand people making families. But what I'm running into recently at this point in my life is men who want to make a child, but they're not talking about building a family. So what I mean is I'm running into these men who I think for some reason there's been this misconception put out on the street that I would be a good baby mama. This is incorrect. I want to clear the air on that. I'd be a terrible baby mama. I'll ruin your fucking life. If I am a baby mama, I'm ruining your life. Your life is going to be terrible for as long as I'm in it. I want to be clear about that to clear the air, because someone has put this rumor in the streets and it is untrue. I will not be a good baby mama to you or to anyone. I think that there is this idea that, okay, Joy, she's successful. She seems like she's got her shit together. She seems cool. She doesn't have kids. It must be because she hasn't run into the right man who's convinced her to have a child. This is not true. This is not true. I fully understand people wanting to have children. What I do not understand is these men with these breeding kinks who will come to me and say, oh, how are you going to let those genes go to waste? Or how could you not want to make a baby? We would have such a cute baby. Or if you don't have kids, who's going to take care of you when you're older? Or I really want to have a son so that I can carry on my legacy. All of these things are very weird statements to me. What would be a rational statement to me is I would like to find a wife build a home together, and then have a child. That is a statement that makes sense to me. Still not something I'm participating in, but at least I can respect the approach. But that's not the conversation that we're having. The conversation we're having is, oh, I want to have a baby with you. And then when I'm like, I think what you're trying to say is you want to marry me, and then we could discuss having children. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, like we would get married eventually. So for you, it's more committal to marry someone than it is for you to make a human offspring child that you have to then raise. Because I think that for these men, it's in their mind, it would be my responsibility or the woman's responsibility. And it's just an appealing thing to make a baby. This is beyond my comprehension or understanding. I really do not enjoy the conversation. And I just implore people who are going down this road that we have to free ourselves of this idea that it is somehow more of a commitment to get married than it is to make a child. I just fundamentally do not understand that. It's very frustrating for me. No matter what you do in your life, you will be a parent if you make a child. You don't have to raise that kid. You don't have to be involved in their life. You don't have to live in the same continent. But somewhere on earth, you have a child. If you choose to get divorced, you don't have a wife anymore. How is that more committal? It's very strange to me, but this continues to happen to me. It's a conversation I have been having all year long. I think it's maybe because of my age. I don't know. But I think it's a wonderful, amazing, normal thing to want to have a child. I also think it's completely normal not to want to have a child. And we should be able to have those conversations without introducing some weird kink about finding someone with the right genes to make a baby with. Please stop saying that to people.